Hello, welcome back. Today I'm just gonna do a tarot reading for the month of November. See what's coming for you, for the collective. Sorry about this, I'm just getting comfortable, moving my seat up a little bit. So we just had Halloween, which is Samhain, which is, the enter into winter from the summer. So remember, the first thing I want to say is remember that, after the dark, there's always the light. After the light, there's always the dark. And it's not to be afraid of, right? There's a time for everything, and the dark is just as important as the light. And it's essential to the balance of nature, the balance of the world. So anyway, I'm just gonna get right into it. Spirit, what can we expect for the collective this November? Spirit guides, I ask you to be with me here today. Bathe this space in light. Tell us what we need to know. Okay, I'm just going to get a signifier card first. Spirit, who is being called to this reading? The insight into this. What do they need to know? Where are they in their life? Okay, Temperance. This is card 14. It's the card of Sagittarius, so maybe you're a Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius, so that resonates for me. This card is all about balance, and it depicts Archangel Michael. And, I'm pretty sure it's Michael. It might be Raphael, but either way, it's divine balance, So where you're at right now, your main lesson is balance, is the give and the take, and finding that balance within yourself, and balance in all aspects of your life. And, that could look like maybe giving less to other people so that you can focus on yourself, maybe stepping back from some obligations that you don't necessarily want or need at this point of your life. He has the triangle on his chest, which depicts, divinity, spirit. And the lesson of this card is that, balance flows easily. When you stop fighting, it just happens, right? When you surrender to the flow of the universe, to your heart, to your actual priorities, things will come into balance. So maybe you are also dealing with some emotions. He's got his foot in the water, dipping your toe into the emotional depth within yourself to then balance the scales in your own life. And especially with the cups in the water, I feel like this is definitely your emotional balance. Choosing things that actually do fill your cup instead of things that society wants you to, makes you think will fill your cup, like money, wealth, material possessions, instead focusing on things that you love, that give you fulfillment, that make you happy to, wake up every single morning. We'll get some more. It can also mean, needing to take some more balanced steps in regard to vices. We'll see what else comes up in this reading. Let's get some more cards. But you're definitely being asked to connect with your higher angels, your guardian angels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael. They're just... Sorry, my dog is eating a treat in this room, and she's like kind of choking on it. Oh, maybe you don't want to hear this. Maybe you have a stigma against working with angels, but really, like, what are angels? They're just vessels for divine will, right? They're just personification of the life energy of the universe. You know, they're not people. They're just, we personify them as people because it's easiest for us to relate to them like that. But it's just connecting with the divine's power of healing, of communication, of balance, of, you know, having, you know, of justice, of maybe having difficult conversations that need to happen to bring your life back into balance. All right, let's see what other cards we get. Wow, okay, so 9 of Swords. So this card is all about overthinking. You can see here, overthinking, staying up at night because you're worried about things, because you're worried about how you're going to make ends meet, of how your relationships are going to work out. Maybe you know, there's roses on the quilt. Maybe you are overthinking and very distressed about your relationships, maybe about romance. And so this is reminding you that this overthinking is a symptom of the imbalance, or vice versa, right? It's give up this overthinking, give up this need to control, this need to know. You know, we won't, the whole thing is like, we don't know our path, right? There's no way to know our path, our journey, right? There's no way to know, because, you know, the world is so vast. We can try to control every little thing, but it's impossible because the world is huge. There's so many other people. There's so many different factors. So Spirit is saying you need to release this overthinking. And, you know, when this does come up, because it is, you know, we're heading into winter months, don't ignore it. If you have real fears that are coming up, right? It's not just, I'm not saying like mask it with, you know, these, you know, pretending like everything's okay, pretending like you're fine, pretending like you are fulfilled. You know, you need to face these fears, face these things, but once you face them and work them out, you know, like through journaling, or maybe, you know, recording videos of yourself talking, or talking to a trusted friend or a therapist, you know, once you confront these fears, you let them go. So, you know, everything has its time. When these fears come up, you know, engage with them. You may have to be like this guy, like, oh, you know, have a crash out, have a crying session. But, you know, after the storm, there's the rainbow, right? So feel your feelings, but then move through them. Know that everything is temporary. If you are having, you know, fear and sadness and despair, in these moments, remember that it will pass. Everything will pass. And that is something that I've had to learn in my own journey. You know, I struggled with anxiety and depression for many, many years, for, you know, 10 years. And something that really helped me was that when I was in those bouts of feeling really anxious or really depressed, like, this will pass. Everything will pass. Change is the only constant in the universe, right? So even in these moments, remember that there is goodness that is waiting for you. You won't always feel that way. And rest in that knowing. There are always good things that are coming. Another card. Oh. Okay, this one come out. Okay. 7 of Wands. It's funny, I am gonna upload another video, the one I just did. But releasing the need of competition, releasing inner turmoil, releasing this fighting within yourself. And maybe it's fighting because wands are the card of action. So maybe you're fighting yourself. Oh, you know what I'm saying? That you're releasing the actions that you're doing that are actually bringing you down through, you know, fighting yourself. So for example, like maybe you're an artist, and I'm going to use this analogy because I'm an artist. So maybe you really want to paint today, but then you get, you know, sucked into your phone and you end up, you know, doom scrolling for 2 hours, right? So, you know, recognize these behaviors in yourself and release them. You know, there's no substance there, right? Once you actually just move past them, you know, they vanish. Evil is not real. Evil is just the absence of light, right? It's just moving away from your true self. So I believe this card is saying, like, you know, do your best to stop fighting with yourself. Because I said before, like, you know, the other 6 wands that this guy is, you know, staying on top of is, you know, there's no people. They're just there. You know, they could be all in his imagination. So know that, like, you know, there is no actual opposition. The only opposition is in your mind. Release this feeling that, release the idea that you have to fight for everything that you want, that you have to fight for your love or your happiness or your wealth, because there is no fight. That's just a fallacy. That's just what people want you to think. You know, that's just what, I'm going to get a little, you know, political here, but that's what capitalism wants you to think. Capitalism drives on competition. It drives on endless growth. And life doesn't have to be like that. You can choose to release this overthinking, to move forward with love and compassion for yourself and for others, and know that everything is going to work out for you. Get a couple more cards, because I want to see, how is this manifesting? Wow, yeah, okay, so once you move through all this, you know, the Ten of Cups is the card of complete emotional fulfillment, happiness, joy, love, a family that you resonate with, that supports you, that you know, have joy. These kids are dancing, you know, feeling like your heart is singing, you know, dancing through life, like that song from Wicked. Although that's, you know, the message of that song is kind of, you know, mixed. But, you know, once you release all of this, you have this waiting for you. You have the Ten of Cups. Like, I think Spirit is saying, you know, the only obstacle that is in your way of complete fulfillment, complete happiness, bliss, your purpose, community, just ease and flow with life is yourself, is fighting with yourself and your fear and any imbalance that you have within your head, because, you know, there is no such thing. And that's the cool thing, like, especially, like, I you know, nature knows intuitively how to stay in balance, and we are part of nature. You know intuitively how to stay in balance with your surroundings, within yourself, how to regulate yourself. You know, listen to your body, listen to your instincts. Release all of this fear and these ideas that you need to fight yourself and fight other people, because everything just works out. That's how it's, you know, that's how the universe is made. It's just, it's literally science, you know, biology, environmental science. It's all about exchange. It's all about balance and, you know, things giving and taking, but in a perfect way, where everyone's needs are met. So this is a great card to see, you know. You have it all. It's waiting for you. If you already have a relationship or a family, you know, you will experience great joy with them. Wow, and the Empress. This is a beautiful card. I love this card. So, you know, it's maybe 3 is significant to you. This is the card of mothership. So maybe you're a mother, especially with the Ten of Cups. Maybe you're starting a family. Releasing this will move you into this Empress mode. And what is the Empress mode? The Empress mode is your divine feminine. And this is, you know, gender neutral. Every single person has masculine and feminine within themselves. And we use the words masculine and feminine just because they don't correspond to, like, gender representation or sexual orientation or anything like that. It's just a way to describe the energy. So the energy of the feminine, of the Empress, is receiving. You know, she's got this beautiful lounge, like a chaise lounge that she's in. You know, she's in nature. And her dress has these roses on it, just like here on the bed, duvet. She's seeming like in a farm. She's got, like, maybe wheat here. Got a beautiful stream. So, you know, crown adorned of stars. You know, this is you. You are moving into this. So it is the card of mothership. So if you are, maybe you want to get pregnant, this is a great sign, or you want to adopt, or, you know, it could also just be having, you know, motherly energy to your community, to your family that you have. And I think it's saying that your key is to receive, right? Once you release this overthinking, this fighting, imbalance, the universe wants to give you emotional fulfillment, wants to fulfill you in every single way, right? Materially, emotionally, spiritually. You know, you just need to sit and receive it and know that you are a star. Know that you, sorry, I thought my dog was digging in the trash. You are the Empress, right? Let me get maybe one more card. I want to see, like, how is this manifesting? I know this is like a collective message, so it is different for each person, but wow. Yeah, Six of Wands. Okay, yeah, the Six of Wands is the card of critical acclaim. It's of being famous. It's of having community, being lauded by your community, being celebrated. And it's just a wonderful card. You know, these last three cards are beautiful. It's a beautiful message. You have so much community coming towards you. You have so much celebration. You're really going to be feeling yourself. You're going to love yourself. You're going to love the things that you do, the actions that you take. And it's going to be enlightened action that not only elevates you, but elevates your community, your family, the people around you, the people you love. And yeah, I mean, if you are in some kind of creative role, maybe you're going to be going viral. You're going to be having some more people on your channel or on your art page or something like that. If you work in an office, you could be promoted maybe, or put into a greater leadership capacity where your talents can shine. But people will be looking up to you. People will be, especially with the Empress, you know, people will be following your lead. And it's because you lead with your heart. It's because you stopped fighting with yourself and your dreams and your aspirations, and rest in your star power. Rest knowing that you are protected, that you are one of a kind. I'm going to get some cards from this deck. It's from a spirit guide deck. Ask your spirit guides. Spirit, what else? Oh, surprise! Joy guides, card 42. Wow, so you're not gonna see something coming. You're gonna get something. She's got this heart. Maybe you'll have an admirer, maybe. I also feel like this is the universe wants to surprise you. The universe wants to give you love, and you're gonna be very surprised by how much fulfillment and love and connection is flowing to you from so many different areas, I feel like. Especially with the Six of Wands and the Ten of Cups. Like, it's coming from all areas. You know, you're flanked on all sides. The universe is going to surprise you with how well everything works out. You have so much, you know, just joy coming and love, and it's beautiful. Let's see what else. What else, Spirit? What else do I need to know? Spirit guides, please come down, tell us. What else does the collective need to know? Self-love. Wow, yes. So this surprise comes in because of your self-love, right? So, you know, the biggest thing that I've learned is that, you know, when you love yourself, other people will love you. And that doesn't mean, you know, you hear that saying, like, you can't love others until you love yourself. Or other people can't love you until you love yourself. And I find that manifests because if you don't love yourself, right, you don't have good boundaries. You don't put yourself into good relationships. And so you don't feel like you have dignity. So if there is conflict, if there is you know, maybe a red flag in the relationship, you don't necessarily move away or end it or have a tough conversation because you don't have the love. But Spirit is saying that love yourself. You know, you have all of these flowers, all of these beautiful things that are just inside you waiting to come out. And once you love yourself, they will start growing and growing in surprising ways, in ways that you couldn't even imagine. And once you start loving yourself, you find new ways, new things that ignite your fire and new parts of yourself to love, because you just start expanding. You know, love is infinite. It's beautiful. What else, Spirit? And teamwork, yeah. I love when Spirit confirms this for me. So yeah, so your self-love will lead you into teamwork, into building things with other people. You know, there's Saturn in the center, and Saturn is about, you know, work and, you know, rules and regulations, but in a good way, right? And in ways that help, like structure and habits that you love and that keep you healthy. And so, especially with Six of Wands and the Ten of Cups, you have people coming in, you know, work with the people you have now, the ones around you, but also you're going to have new people coming in that are want to build things with you, that see your love, that see everything that you've been doing for yourself within and want to build that with you. And until these people like physically come in, work with your spirit guides, work with your helper guides, you know, ask the divine, ask God to come in and help you have self-love, to release these thoughts, these fears that might be getting in the way of you manifesting your life, right? There is no such thing as doing it alone, right? That is a huge fallacy. Everything is connected. Every single person, every single being, every single physical thing is connected. And there is no such thing as being alone. And once you understand that, life becomes like a hug, right? It becomes warm. It feels like an embrace. And I feel like that's what Spirit's saying. You don't have to do it alone. You never do anything alone. You know, your spirit guides are just waiting for you to invoke them. They're just waiting for you to reach out and ask them for help and ask them to give you insight. All right, we're gonna get a dream oracle deck. Oh, my dog just came and sat next to me. Hello. All right, one more card. Wow, Lunamoth. It's a beautiful card. I don't know if you can see it, but I don't know all of these cards. But right away, I mean, the Lunamoth is crazy because it is associated with the moon, you know, Luna, but it's also a bright, beautiful moth, and you know, moths are drawn to the light. So don't hide your light. Don't hide your joy and your true self, because other people will be drawn to that. Now let's read what it has to say about the Lunamoth. Let's see. Your Lunamoth. Okay. All right. A Lunamoth lives for only a short time. Within that period, they mate, eat, and then die, only to have their offspring carry on their legacy. Their unique coloring attracts much interest. Their wings appear to glow, and they have circles that look like moons on them. Some cultures associate the Lunamoth with a symbol of transformation and change. Other cultures suggest the Lunamoth represents a person's soul as it leaves a dead body. No matter where you place the Lunamoth's spiritual virtue, it is a stunning specimen of Lepidoptera. It's time to transform bad habits into good ones. Take a healthy break from your obsessions to gain revelations. Wow. This is definitely a very fitting card. Like, I feel like, you know, if you see, you've got these three over here, and then you've got these three over here. And I feel like you are transforming, you know, you're transforming this into this, right? moving away from this energy into your energy of abundance and emotional fulfillment. And that is, and I think, the lesson of the Luna Moth, like it says, like they live for such a short time. And really, we live for such a short time too, right? It may feel long, but really it's so short. And if, let's say, we only lived for like 10 days, if you only lived for 10 days, then you better bet you'd be doing all the things that your heart desires, right? And so I feel like, you would be, traveling, you would be confessing feelings to people, you would be having fun and doing things that you love, dancing, singing, eating, good food, right? Enjoying, going to the plays, going to, whatever you love to do. And the lesson of the Luna Moth is that although our life is long, we need to have a perspective that it is short, and that, live every day to its fullest, right? We deserve to live every day for ourselves and to have fulfillment. And yeah, it was a beautiful message today. I hope it resonated for you. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I'm wishing you a beautiful November. It's going to be a November full of great change for you, leaving all this in the past, moving towards, this bountiful future and filled with love and community and joy. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Bye-bye.